Hey, this is Johnny here. We're going to go over all the different piercings you can get in your ear and all the different jewelry that kind of coincides with those piercings. All right, let's get started with the industrial. It goes across your ear right here. The next one is your forward helix. Those are in the front of the ear. Next one is your conch, your flat conch, outer conch. Then we're looking at the rook. This is the helix area, anywhere along the ridge here. This is your inner conch. It could be anywhere in the inner part of the ear. Then we're looking at your snug, anywhere along that ridge. We're looking at the conch again inside that area. This here is your daith. It's running along that cartilage ridge that goes inside of your ear. This is the antitragus, just is in that little bump right there. Now we're looking at your earlobe. This is basically any spot going along the lobe, the fatty part there is your earlobe. There's a bunch of different ones that can go in there, can go all the way up your ear. Now we're looking at the tragus. It goes onto that little flap of cartilage that covers your ear hole. And then the vertical tragus, which is more of a surface piercing. Now we're going to start off with a curved barbell. This is going to suit a couple of different spots. It's got two barbells and it curves. We can do that on the vertical tragus, or it can be put in your rook area. We can put that on the snug area as well, or it can also go in the antitragus. It's suitable for all those spots. It can also be put in, if you don't want to hoop, into the daith area as well. Now this jewelry is designed as under the skin, a surface piercing. It's got a flat bar, and the best one it's going to suit is the vertical tragus. Now we're looking at a hoop. This one is a hoop with the jewels pointing in one direction. Generally the best spot this is going to go into is your daith or your helix. It can be put on an earlobe, but because the jewels aren't on both sides, it's not really the best for that, but you can still put it there if it's going to be forward facing. And we're going to get the other hoop here. So this is a smaller hoop. The other one was a 10mm hoop, and this is a 6mm hoop. It can be put in your daith, or the best spot would be more a forward helix because it is smaller. If you have smaller ears too, you can also put it in your helix or on your earlobes, again, depending on what size your ear is. Different size hoops are going to fit in different people's ears. Everyone's a little bit unique, so it's going to work best for them. So this is actually mostly used for your septum because it's got a flat bar. Now, that being said, it can still be used as a daith jewelry. Lots of people love this jewelry for the daith because it sits nice and snug in there, and it works great for the daith area. This one is a segmented hoop earring. We've seen these a lot. They're just plain hoops. They can be turned into different colors, but they're pretty much good for lots of different places like your daith, your helix, your earlobes. It can pretty much fit in any spot, like your forward helix or your tragus. The only spot it wouldn't be good for is your conch areas, anywhere where it's flat, unless it's a really large hoop. This one is a 10mm hoop. This one here also is a 10mm hoop. It's just got some decorations and stuff on the outside of it, and it's good for all the same places as any 10mm hoop is going to go. As you can see here, it's got a hinge and segmented, so it clicks together and it's really great because it's seamless for any spot that you are having a little bit of an issue with healing. It's a great piece of jewelry for that. Really good for your daith. And your earlobes, again, depending on how you're healing, they're large and they have room for swelling in there. Now I'm going to show you the industrial jewelry. This one here has an accessory of a little mustache on it. They have a number of different types in there, but it's basically a long barbell, and it is a 14 gauge, and this one is 2 inches long. You're going to have different sizes for different people depending on how wide your ear is. Now we're going to look at a longer piece of jewelry. It's got a number of different jewels all clustered together, so it looks like you've got more than one piercing. So these types of jewelry are pretty common, and they're really good for your outer conch. Really good for the helix is really popular spot. And anywhere where it's kind of like a flat area, like your inner conch, or the tragus, depending on how big your ear is, it might fit on your tragus good. Also for earlobes, it's great because it makes it look like you have a number of different piercings, and you don't have to get more if you don't want them. Okay, now we're going to look at just a regular stud. This is a regular stud. It can fit in most places, like your tragus, forward helixes, your helix itself. Anywhere where it's flat, your earlobes works really well. Not like your daith or anything like that, or your snug, or your anti-tragus, but pretty much everywhere else on the ear, it's going to work great. It's the most common piece of jewelry people get is a regular standard stud. Here's some different examples of studs. This one has a number of different crystals all attached to it with an opal in the middle. Really good for your tragus. Again, anywhere where a stud's going to work really well. You do need a bit of room, so like your conch area is a great spot. More on the earlobes, very popular. People get these on the earlobes all the time. We do have a pretty big variety of studs. I'm just showing you some different examples. Obviously, the crystals can be varying in sizes and colors, and those are great. So this is also another stud, but it is kind of more of a straight stud. It works really well on your helix, your tragus, your earlobes, your forward helix. It's nice because it makes it look like you have more than one piercing if you only want one at the time. The jewelry kind of tricks people into thinking you got a lot. So this one is just more of an ascending, clustered kind of jewelry, and it has 3. One's big, one's small, and again, it fits in all the same spots. Your helix and your earlobe, or your tragus are great areas to have that type of jewelry. Again, it looks like you have more than one piercing, and you only have to go through the pain of one piercing. This is a smaller hoop, a 6mm hoop. Going to fit really well in your tragus, or any of the areas that a curved barbell or hoop will fit. The different size hoops work really well. This one's a little bit of a larger stud. Again, I'm just showing you some different examples. Really good for your earlobes, and it gives you a nice look if you want to get different sizes. Really nice to get a size that'll work well for your ascending or descending crystals. So that's everything there. Thank you very much for stopping in, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below.